This is KDLT News at 5.
There is one thing and one thing only that always rises to the top, and that is we have one goal, and that is we want to keep you safe.
Sioux Falls officials are urging residents to take shelter this weekend as the city braces for the arrival of a serious winter storm. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Hansen.
And I'm Kelsey Passelt. Closings and cancellations, warnings and travel advisories have already been issued across the region today as a winter storm pushes through South Dakota.
Communities across our viewing area have already been hit with the high winds, pelting rains, and even hail today, with more severe weather on the way this weekend. Chief Meteorologist Alex Alesi has been tracking this storm for us. He joins us now in the Weather Center with the very latest. Alex.
Yeah, those blizzard warnings still going into effect as we go into 7 o'clock. That's when the blizzard warning will start to go into effect for our eastern counties as the rain snow line slowly starts to edge its way down to the south and east. You can already see freezing precipitation starting to fall in Mitchell. Heavy snow has been falling for hours in Huron and Pierre, Chamberlain. I just checked, Rapid City got close to 10 inches of snow, so all that working its way to the east. Watertown picking up on the heavy showers as well. We can zoom in a little bit closer. The big rocking thunderstorms that we saw this morning, that has since calmed down, but we still have the heavy rain pushing its way into Madison. And as these strong cells work their way into colder temperatures, you can expect this really heavy snow to start falling. When we combine that with the wind, look at this, 33 mile-per-hour sustained winds in Sioux Falls, Pierce, 32 mile-per-hour sustained winds, and the gusts go over 50 miles per hour in some spots. That's creating very low visibilities, down to 0.3 mile visibility in Winter, 1.5 miles in Pierre, 0.3 mile visibility in Huron. That makes it for impossible travel conditions with the lower visibility, all that snow falling. And again, as that rain snow line starts to work its way to the east, these temperatures will start to drop. We're going to start freezing, and by the end of it on Sunday, expecting about a foot of snow across the Sioux Empire. Again, stay off the roadways, just hang out at home. There's no need to go outside. And not only is it unsafe for you, but if you get stranded, it's unsafe for the first responders as well. I'm going to time out this storm a little bit better coming up in your full forecast.
Sounds good. Thanks, Alex. Well, those strong winds earlier today already caused some serious damage to structures and left people without power. Around 40 power lines in the Magnolia, Minnesota area were brought down due to powerful winds. The National Weather Service reported gusts up to 80 miles an hour in southwest Minnesota. Right now, 167 homes are without power. In nearby Adrian, gusts were so strong a tree trunk broke off and seriously damaged a house. Take a look at this. Sioux Valley Energy crews say the first priority is bringing the power back on, even with worse weather on the way.
Our guys will work through a lot of different things, and if it starts snowing, they'll do the best they can to fight through the elements and get the lines put back up. You know, first thing they want to do is they want to get power back to our customers. That's the most important thing for us.
You can hear that wind, can't you? An Adrian resident said that she saw a funnel cloud in the area. However, the National Weather Service says that they could not confirm that there was a tornado. Now, Sioux Falls officials say they're expecting the worst April snowstorm in 25 years to start tonight. This will likely be the city's 6th snow alert of the year.
KDLT's Allison Royal spoke with city officials today who are working around the clock to keep your family safe. She joins us in the studio now with what you need to know. Allison.
Kelsey, good evening. And city officials say we're in for a storm many haven't seen before, including myself. They say they have a message: stay home and stay off the roads unless it's an emergency. Here's a look at what western South Dakota looks like right now, and get ready, it's headed our way. Sioux Falls Street Manager Galen Huber says there could be 2 inches of snow falling per hour tomorrow. That's already faster than snow crews can clear it. If there's more cars crowding the roads, it will only slow down the snow crews. City officials need to keep the roads as empty as possible so they're clear for emergency responders.
There's going to be appointments that most likely can be postponed. There's going to be things that have been planned for a long time and things, plans put into it and maybe even some expense. But is it worth your safety? Is it worth the safety of your family?
Places like the Midco Aquatic Center, the landfill, and libraries will be closed on Saturday. Interstate closures are also expected to continue. Project Nice Keep will also be postponed until Tuesday. KDLT will continue to track this snowy storm throughout the weekend to keep you and your family up to date. Kelsey, back to you.
All right, thanks, Allison. Also among the list of closures, the Sioux Falls Regional Airport has announced scheduling changes. According to their website, they'll be closing late tonight and reopening tomorrow at 7 p.m., depending on the weather conditions. They ask that all passengers check with their airline for any updated flight times. Living in the upper Midwest, we know our winters sometimes last longer than usual, including snowfall as late as April or May. Snowfall within this month is normal, but experts say this blizzard is different. Very strong winds and heavy snowfall, up to 18 inches possible in some spots, will make this storm one to remember. The National Weather Service says dynamics vary to create monster blizzards, and the ingredients for this storm have created something very significant.
Basically what we call a perfect storm, when you start dealing with the snow out west like we are today, and then it progresses across the entire state. It's very rare that a storm like this impacts such a large area that's going to adversely impact it for such a long period of time as well.
Now, the record for the snowiest month of April in Sioux Falls is 18.4 inches. That was set back in 1983. More than 10 inches have already fallen this month so far, so this blizzard will likely shatter that record.
Well, a Sioux Falls man is behind bars today, accused of stabbing a man and stealing his car. Carjacking happened yesterday afternoon outside a home in the 800 block of South Regal Place in Sioux Falls. Police say 35-year-old Chol Deng approached the victim with a pocket knife, leaving a 1-inch cut on his arm. Police say Deng threatened to kill the victim if he didn't give him the keys to his Cadillac Escalade. Deng then left in the other man's vehicle. Police later found it near 24th and Williams. A canine was able to track Deng to a church at 28th Street in Lincoln. He was arrested for aggravated assault, robbery, and possession of a stolen vehicle.
2 Sioux Falls teenagers are facing charges after police say they brought a stolen gun to a school playground. It happened at Hawthorne Elementary in Sioux Falls. A witness notified police that they had seen the kids playing with a handgun on the playground and put it into a backpack. When police arrived, a 16-year-old ran away from the scene. Police say they later discovered he had stolen the gun from a friend's house. They found the gun inside the backpack of a 14-year-old student. They're both facing stolen property and weapons charges.
The race for Sioux Falls mayor is far from over. Paul Tenhaken and Jolene Letcher will face off in a runoff election on May 1st. Today, Letcher received the endorsement from one of the other candidates. Kenny Anderson Jr. announced his support for Letcher at the VFW in Sioux Falls.
It's just an incredible moment for us to know that Kenny has served this city so tremendously, and his whole family has, and for him to say that he stands behind our vision and our belief really means a lot to us.
Anderson says that he could have sat back and watched the runoff election play out, but he says the decision to endorse Letcher was an easy one for him.
I feel that Jolene will have that open ear to all people of our city, not just one segment, and that was a real deciding factor for me.
Just 18 days remain until that runoff election.
In the spirit of election season, the Brandon Valley hockey teams are asking for your vote. Brandon Hockey has made it to the top 4 of the Kraft Hockeyville contest. Even though the rink in Brandon is in Brandon, the entire Sioux Empire can benefit from this contest. They could win $150,000 for rink upgrades, and an NHL preseason game could be coming to the Premier Center. Just go to crafthockeyville.com, the website on your screen, and cast your vote. Voting is open until tomorrow morning at 10.
Many zoo animals are loving the longer winter, but you won't be able to see them during the blizzard. More on the storm's impact next. Well, welcome back. This weekend's weather is causing some extra headaches for students at Brandon Valley High School. We told you yesterday the school had moved up their prom from Saturday to tonight. Well, in light of the new weather reports, they have announced today that it is now moving to Sunday. School administrators say Sunday evening is the only date available due to the previously scheduled events on upcoming weekends. Post-prom activities through the school are canceled, with schools still expected to be in session on Monday. Well, the weather is also ruining students' plans for something that might not be quite as much fun as the prom. Yeah, we're talking ACT testing. Students across the region were slated to take their college entry exams this weekend, many of those being rescheduled. Testing in Sioux Falls, Yankton, Flandreau, T, and Huron are among those sessions that are canceled. I'm sure others are too. For a full list of cancellations and to book a rescheduled testing date, Visit act.org.
Well, a lot of us can't wait for warmer weather, but at the Sioux Falls Great Plains Zoo, many of the animals are actually enjoying the colder temperatures, including the snow monkeys. How fitting. They have been a very popular exhibit during the colder months because people can see them rolling snowballs and playing in the snow. The zoo says most animals do just fine in the cold weather, including snow leopards and tigers. They specifically choose animals for the zoo based on how they'll fit in with South Dakota weather. For animals that need it warmer, they do have an indoor play area where the temperature can be controlled and people can still view the animals.
Snowy days that have high winds are a lot more uncomfortable for our zookeepers, but they make sure they make the animals very comfortable every day of the year.
And we just learned this evening that the zoo will be closed tomorrow due to the bad weather. They plan to reopen Sunday at 11 a.m.
Well, a metalworking shop shows off the fruits of their labor in many different ways. Now you can learn more about the process. Details on a special tour still ahead.
Blizzard conditions moving its way across the Sioux Empire. I've got all the details on who will see the most snow, and I'm timing it out hour by hour. Coming up in your full forecast.
First, the wind was brutal, and then the rain was coming down in sheets.
And the hail, I had the hail coming down on me this morning.
Yeah, my street was white this morning with
I
hail.
know, that was wild. I had the metal roof above me. That was pretty loud. And the wind was blowing it around on the roof, sliding around. I couldn't go back to sleep. I was up all this morning. It was a wild afternoon. Things have calmed down, at least on the storm front. At least thunderstorm-wise, things have calmed down a little bit, but we still have lots of heavy snow, very strong winds across the Sioux Empire. Blizzard warnings in effect right now for our western counties, also in effect for most of our central counties. Winter weather advisories up near Aberdeen. We've downgraded that from a blizzard to a winter weather advisory because that low pressure system is going to edge its way down to the south and won't dump as much snow across our far northern counties. Still, blizzard warning now go into effect starting around 7 o'clock this evening as the snow begins to build in. Live radar right now showing the heavy snow continuing over Pierre and Chamberlain. Huron also getting hit with the heaviest of the snow. Watertown as well. That freezing line is hanging right around towards the north into the west of Sioux Falls. Still seeing the heavy rain here, but up towards Madison, you're probably seeing some of those snowflakes mixing in with the rain. Brookings also seeing some of the snow. Pipestone picking up on the freezing mix now. Road conditions, they've closed down I-29 from the border all the way down towards Mitchell. Also I-90 from Mitchell, not Mitchell, but off towards Mitchell all the way down towards Murdo. I-90 is closing down as that snow line continues to work its way to the east. I bet you that those interstates will continue to close. I-29 near Watertown, here's a live look outside. This is why they're closing down. The snow-covered roads, the low visibility due to the winds and the snow. It's going to be really dangerous to be out on the roadways, not only for you, but if you head out on the roadways and get stranded, that puts those first responders in jeopardy as well. So stay inside this weekend and just hang out. Right now, live look outside, the camera really jumping around in that wind. 35 miles per hour, 33 mile per hour sustained winds from the northeast. Take a look at these winds, very impressive. 22 mile per hour winds in Chamberlain, 32 in Pierre, 39 in Mitchell, but when you factor in the gusts, it's even greater than that. We're getting gusts about 50 miles per hour. Temperatures on their way down. Sioux Falls still above freezing, but notice Brookings and Mitchell where that freezing line is just starting to edge its way in. Those surface temperatures down to 30 degrees. So here's Futurecast. By 8 o'clock, we're going to start getting below freezing. That's why that pink starts working its way in. Still tracking some moderate to heavy rain showers near Yankton. Heavy snow continuing up towards the north and the west for another few hours. Here's 11 o'clock, still snowing to the north into the west. By around 4 o'clock in the morning, we're still seeing the heavy snow falling through Sioux Falls, up through Pipestone into Brookings. Still seeing heavy snow near Wagner as well. More batches of that heavier convection and the rain and the heavy snow continues to work its way up to the north by 9 o'clock in the morning. Blizzard conditions, the wind continuing through noon for our southeastern counties. And by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, still tracking the heavy snow as that low continues to edge its way down to the south and east. Our western counties clearing up, but by Saturday evening, still tracking heavy snow in Yankton and Sioux Falls and slowly working its way out by Saturday night. So expecting blizzard conditions throughout the day tomorrow. By the end of it, you're going to see about a foot of snow across much of the Sioux Empire, 10 plus inches closer towards Watertown, Aberdeen in that winter weather advisory. Not as much snow, but the wind's still a factor. We're starting to see some dry air trying to build in, but I still think Sioux Falls is going to pick up on a foot of snow. So day planner for tomorrow, not going to be able to see much. Blizzard conditions by 8 o'clock in the morning. By noon, we still have the heavy snow, 27 degrees. By 5 o'clock, our daytime high up to 28 with more of that snow and that rain. So expect those blizzard conditions throughout the night tonight into tomorrow morning. Again, I can't stress this enough. Can't tell you how to live your life, but you want to stay inside this weekend. You don't want to risk it. If you don't have somewhere to go, just stay and hang out. 28 degrees tomorrow. Again, blizzard conditions throughout the day. By Sunday, a few lingering showers. It'll mostly be wrapped up by Saturday night, but some of our southeastern counties could pick up on a shower or two. 32 degrees for the high. By Monday, we go mostly sunny. We're up to the 40s. Starting to clean up, starting to melt some of that snow. It's going to get quite slushy as we go through the week, though. By Tuesday, partly cloudy skies up to 45. By Wednesday, a few rain showers. We're tracking 44. By Thursday, partly cloudy skies, 48 degrees. By Friday, we're up to 50 degrees. Again, guys, I mean, we're going to see that heavy snow falling. The winds are going to be an issue. Visibilities have already dropped below a mile in a lot of spots. So, again, we're just going to want to be careful. Don't go out on the roadways.
All right. Thanks, Alex.
Well, coming up, things are heating up at a Sioux Falls metalworking shop. Try 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Find out what they melt down and make for artists and families. That's next. But first, here's a look at your KDLT primetime lineup.
Well, welcome back. From memorials to decorations, our guests today have an offering, a behind-the-scenes look at the creations at their Sioux Falls Art Foundry.
That's right, Lisa Meyer from Bronze Age Art Casting. Say that 5 times fast. Joins us tonight. Thanks so much, Lisa.
You're very welcome. We're
so
glad
you brought
to be here.
so much.
Yes.
You guys do a lot.
We do a lot. We work for sculptors and artists. They bring in a clay sculpture. We take it through the process to turn it into basically a bronze reproduction or replication of that original. And we work with small sculptures and also huge sculptures, which is a little different process.
The process here is amazing because you were just taking us through it. Go ahead and take us through it now.
Starting out with a clay sculpture, we make a mold from that. And then we use hot wax and we pour it in and out of the mold to create a hollow wax reproduction. And then we add what's called a spruing system. This is all wax. We dip that into a ceramic material repeatedly, and then we burn the wax out of that ceramic shell. That's where we pour the molten bronze. And then when that molten bronze cools, we break the shell off, and we're left with mostly the sculpture we started out with. We'll cut things off, grind things, weld them, put them back to the way they're supposed to be, add a little color on the end, and we have a finished bronze sculpture. And this allows us to make an addition of 25 or however many we want of that original sculpture or object, actually.
Fantastic.
And they're hollow.
If people want to,
it's heavy.
Yeah. If people want to see the process, you guys you have special tours.
We do. Yep, we do a bronze pour-in tour most every Thursday. We have a lot of them right now because we're getting ready for Sculpture Walk in downtown Sioux Falls at the beginning of May, and so we've got a great stuff going on. They can go to our Facebook page or website to see when, and they'll see us making sculptures. But we also do other things, other objects, things that if someone has an idea for something, if you imagine something, we can turn that into bronze.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
So, like, what's this, a door?
Those are drawer pulls.
Drawer
yep.
pulls.
Those are drawer pulls, and I made those myself.
It's a buffalo. You can't really, there you go.
Yeah.
Now you can see it. It's a buffalo.
Oh, how cool.
So if you have something you've always wanted to see as a drawer pull or some decorative thing, these are bottle stoppers that were made by a South Dakota artist, but people can make anything. Have a little K for Kelsey. Yeah, yeah, it's a little key ring. So yeah, yep. So just about anything for adults. If there's anything anyone can imagine, we can take it through that casting process. We can turn it into bronze, brass, aluminum, or iron even. So.
Wow, I'm amazed.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Lisa,
You're
for
very
stopping
welcome.
by.
Thank you.
We will be back right after this. That snow is already coming down for many South Dakotans.
It is. It's pretty wicked outside. Take a look right now. Radar here. Pierre, Chamberlain, Valentine, all the way through Huron and Watertown. Pick up on heavy snow. Aberdeen also seeing the snow. We're just seeing the rain at the moment, but that freezing line is working its way down. I-29 closed from Brookings to North Dakota border. Mitchell to Murdo and I-90 closed down again because our weather conditions are continuing to deteriorate. No travel advised in a lot of spots. If you don't need to be on the roadways, don't do it. Blizzard conditions will continue throughout the day tomorrow, at least in our southeastern counties. So again, we're expecting about a foot of snow in many spots. I'll have all those details up on KDLT News at 6.
And this is the heavy, wet stuff that's hard to drive in,
exactly.
too.
And the wind just makes it zero visibility.
Be safe. Good night.